Jessica in real life. I wanted to speak to challenges versus limitations. Sometimes in life we come up against things that prevent us from achieving goals, and we have to evaluate these things. And is it a limitation that's going to continually keep you from achieving this thing, or can you reframe the way that you look at it, and is it a challenge? So, one thing that I've learned through self-work is that I can continue to try the same thing over and over and accept different outcomes, which is insanity, or I can be persistent, which means continuing to work towards a goal, but altering my perspective and the way I work at it. So, I have a 5-year-old and an almost 7-year-old, and for a long time I felt that my ability to take care of myself the way I wanted to with self-care, such as exercise, proper nutrition, were limited to being a mom, and having obligations and responsibilities to my kids. That I was raised, your family should go before you, and that selfless service or commitment or sacrifice to your children is number one when you're a mom. It's been taking me a while to unlearn that, and I find that in times of struggle and when my anxiety is high, I tend to go back into trying to manage other people and help them before myself. But I'm continuously working on this. What is my point of saying this? Is that with self-care, over the course of those last 7 years, I've learned that if I don't invest in myself, I can't be the mom I want to be. So I don't know if you've heard the phrase, you can't pour from an empty cup, and my cup was empty. I mean, there was a time where I was completely, I had no fucks left to give to anybody. I had hit complete bottom. I didn't know how to manage my depression, and ultimately I needed to seek the help of other people that could relate and tell me that it's okay and how I could change that. I was hopeless. I really was. And I thought that because of these obligations and priorities, I was limited to resources to help myself. But thankfully, like I said, reaching out to other people, I found that I wasn't the only one that went through something like that, and that there are ways to reinvest in yourself so you don't get so broken down. Part of that was letting go of my definition of what a good mom was, and I'm still working on that. But the first part of that was letting go of the fact that it's not selfish to take care of yourself. And I don't know, maybe it is. You'll probably have people in your life that call you selfish once you stop giving all your time and energy to them and you start keeping that time and energy to improve your own health mentally and physically. But I don't consider that selfish, because in my mind, selfish has a negative connotation. So it's hard for me to say yeah, I'm more selfish these days. I don't know, maybe self-centric or self-focused, but today, fitness is a priority for me and nutrition's a priority for me. I don't do either of them perfectly. I'm on a good run with my fitness. I would admit that I'm a little obsessive over it at this point, because I'm seeing results and that makes me really motivated to keep doing what I'm doing. But there are days that I exercise in excess and I get some joint pains. But that's a story for another day. Obsession and compulsive activities and how we manage those things. But today I wanted to talk about challenges and limitations. So, is being a mom a limitation to my ability to do self-care? No, it is a challenge though. I have time constraints and I do have to pay attention to my children, as far as what am I demonstrating to them? And how am I teaching them through my own actions? Are they getting enough attention and care? Am I putting enough of my energy into giving them, quality time and attention? I can't be completely exhausted or completely absent due to me taking care of myself. I need to find some balance there. But I have found that I can adjust my sleep schedule to fit my fitness needs in the morning. I go to bed when they do. I put them to bed around 8:30. I go to bed after that. I don't stay up and do dishes. I try not to stay up and do social media stuff, but the more that I'm working on building my YouTube page, the more I'm working on learning some of this like social media software and video editing and whatever. But I try not to do that because I want to get to bed around 9 o'clock so I can get up and do my workout routine in the morning. And however much you want to invest in exercise is a learning curve. It took me a while to get to where I'm at, and since I am so, I don't know, I'm a little intense with it right now, so I am exercising for an hour in the morning, maybe an hour and 10 minutes. But it hasn't always been that way. I started off by doing 20 minutes a few days a week. And if you want to get plugged in with a program or need some extra motivation or help, I could throw you some suggestions. But and then let's talk. So time, I think, was always something that I considered my biggest limitation. But by figuring out where my time is spent, how much of it is wasted, and how much of it is spent productively investing in my self-care and mental health. I used to tell myself that scrolling on Facebook and running around to shopping malls or like whatever was self-care. But in reality, I found that those were just ways that I was kind of stuffing emotions, by shopping and by mindlessly scrolling. I think it was more of a numbing activity. And when it comes down to it, my self-care, I don't want to just be numbing negative emotions. I want to be investing in a more healthy perspective and lifestyle. I rarely felt better after putting my phone away. It's not like I felt great about myself because I spent 20 minutes scrolling on Facebook looking at all the things that other people are doing. And I guess maybe this is ironic that I'm posting these things that maybe you're watching. But if you get any motivation or inspiration from this, awesome. Go out and do the thing. And that's kind of what I'm shooting for. So this video is longer than I wanted it to be. I really was going for like 5 minutes, so it's over 8 minutes now. But I just wanted to get on and speak to that a little bit, so you can overcome the things that you currently are telling yourself are limitations. If you wait for those limitations to go away, they probably aren't going to. Like initially I was like, oh my God, I can't wait till my kids are done walking into my bedroom at night. I'm gonna have so much more sleep and more energy. And to be honest, I think it's just that my energy started getting spent in other ways, and the phase was never over until I made sure that I prioritized myself. I guess what I'm saying is the limitations will remain, and you'll find new limitations until you find that you can break that habit and you can actually rise above. And that's where the limitations just turn into challenges. And when a new one pops up, you're just like, this is a new challenge, but there are real limitations. Like I have some knee arthritis, which is a real limitation, and I have to acknowledge that. I can't run anymore. I have a limitation that prevents me from running. I can run, but I'm miserable for days. My knee swells up, I limp around, I'm in pain. So I have to acknowledge that that's where I'm at in life. That's the reality of my situation today. But I'm not going to stop exercising altogether because I have knee arthritis. What I'm going to do is modify my activities. and try to find ways that I can exercise that don't aggravate or irritate my knee. So some things really are limitations, and they require you to reassess your situation and see how you can do it differently. So the difference is, a limitation can, if you want to use it as an excuse, you can use it as an excuse to quit, or you can use it as information and rework the problem around that limitation. So my fitness goals are, to keep myself in shape. Also, my workouts provide me a level of mental health reprieve, and so I know I have to get that morning workout in. If I don't, I'm miserable. So do I let my knee pain keep me from working on my physical and mental health? No. But if I was working out's hard. If I wanted to use it as an excuse, I could, but I wouldn't feel any better about myself. I wouldn't be working towards my physical and mental health goals. I would just be a victim of my condition and of my life, and it sucks to be a victim. It really feels terrible when you victimize yourself. So I guess all I want to say is, you have the power to change some things. You don't have the power to change everything. So you have to sometimes adjust your goals or your way to tackle those goals based on limitations, but you can change your perspective on some limitations and decide, is it really a limitation or is it a challenge? So do I really need to modify my goals or my expectations, or can I just modify my behavior? So it's a deep subject. There's probably a lot more to be said on it, but I'm going to tie this up because now I'm over 12 minutes. But I hope everybody has a good day. And if no one's told you so far today, I love you, and I know you can do hard things. So put the effort in, make today great, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.